Hi, Stitchy friends. It's Kara, the Granite State Stitcher, both here on YouTube and on Instagram. And email is granitestatestitchers with an S at gmail.com. So if you have just found me and stumbled across this channel, I hope you like what you see and will consider subscribing and hitting the like button and stick around for many more. And if you are returning, thank you so much for tuning in to another video. So I haven't filmed in a couple weeks, and I have a lot to share. So this is a channel mainly about cross stitching with a couple of other crafty endeavors thrown in here and there. And today I do have some other projects to share with you. So today is Monday, January 15th. It is Martin Luther King Day or Civil Rights Day here in the United States. So if you have today off from work, I hope that you are enjoying your day. So first, I wanted to thank those of you who reached out and commented about Foxy from the last video. She is definitely the queen around here. And for those who don't know, I have 4 rescue dogs, and I'll insert their pictures here. Foxy is my little Pomeranian. She's had a very, very rough life, but she definitely has been living the life of a queen since I adopted her, and so have the other 3 dogs. I wouldn't have it any other way. So my 2 of my cousins have animal rescue leagues, and many times I end up, fostering dogs or doing the 5-day hold that Massachusetts and Maine require. So sometimes this is a pretty busy animal household, but that's okay. I love animals. So today we have a lot going on. I have a lot of new starts. I was able to start many of my New Year's predictions or my New Year's plans. And we have whips, we have haul, a couple of new retreat registrations coming up that I wanted to inform you about. And we have the giveaway to do. So before we get started, no, that's my phone in the other room. Just ignore it. I wanted to talk about something I saw on Fiber and Floss Canada. That's Erica's channel. If you haven't sought her out yet, please go over and watch her. And she has been reading a new book that she shares in her latest video, and it is about self-fulfillment. And the author talks about needing 3 things in your life for creating a more enriched life. And one of them is crafting. And I just find it interesting. She goes into this whole thing. So again, I won't, go into it because she does. But it talks about how crafting, it gives you number 1, a sense of enjoyment, but number 2, a sense of fulfillment, which creates those endorphins that make you happy. And I find it interesting. And, and in the book, it talks about being a maker. And if you watch Antique Needleworkers, Shelley, she does, at the beginning of her video, she does what she calls a maker's moment. And she talks about this because she had seen it in a different book last year. So, I can definitely relate to that. I think that that's something that we can all, use in our life if it's something that we don't already have, whether it's knitting, crocheting, stitching, cooking, canning, sewing, even for men, woodworking or creating something, for the house or, whatever it is. I think that sometimes we get too caught up in life. We're always saying, oh, life gets in the way, or I was doing life stuff or adult stuff. And I certainly, know about that. I started my own accounting firm back in 2018. And for those of you who have your own business, you know what it's like, working 24/7, pounding the pavement, trying to get new customers. And, because if you don't have customers to invoice, then you don't have money coming in the door to pay your bills. And so for so many years, I've been caught up in that, just trying to build, my business and my practice. And I've had clients and my kids tell me, you work too much, you don't take time for yourself. And it's true, you can get so caught up in just everyday life that you don't take time for yourself. And that is definitely something I started realizing, I think last year when I started going back and forth to Oklahoma, to babysit my granddaughter. And I want to be able to do more of that. And, my son just got married in October, and I'm sure at some point he and his wife will start having children. So it's important to take time, step back. And I know that I am certainly making an effort, more of an effort to do that now. So it's just something I wanted to share with you. Definitely, go check her out, or even do the research yourself. I think that it's very fascinating, and I think it's something that we can all relate to. So I just wanted to, start off with that, just that quick little blurb about that, because I do find that interesting. So getting into new starts. Oh, and I did want to mention when I was going through the new rotation that I have set up for myself for 2024, I forgot to mention another category that I want to add, and that is called stitching from the vault. And I've seen one other floss tuber do this, and it's basically pulling like the oldest pattern in your stash, or um, just stitching something that's out of print or something that's old to you, maybe. For me, I have plenty of patterns that I still have from the 80s and 90s. And I think that for my version of stitching from the vault, I am just going to start working on those patterns. Getting, many of them are, they came in kits. So, and I've never started them. So I think that will be fun just to start working on those. So that's going to be another category that I add to my rotation. So for new starts, I had my January 1st start. I had two. My first start that I had planned for January 1st last year was going to be Houses of Hon Hollow. That I've had that kitted up for over a year. I love all the Hon Hollow series. I would love to do them all at some point, but they are lengthy stitches. So that was going to be my original January 1st start. And then, of course, I was watching Erica's channel, Fibers and Floss Canada, and she had pulled out, she and her friend are doing Teresa Wensler's Peacock tapestry. And I saw that, and it was like, oh my gosh, beautiful, beautiful. So I said, that's going to be my January start. So I hunted it down. I actually got a kit, and it was from a store. I think it came from Europe. And so Erica did a whole video about Teresa Wensler, about kitting up a Teresa Wensler project, how to approach doing the project. I did not realize that doing a Teresa Wensler was it's a BAP. It's very involved. Um, the most difficult part is the arranging the floss, getting the floss all arranged on either. She was showing different examples of the way to do it. One person had actually done it on a pie plate and punched the holes because all but 6 of the flosses are blended colors. And that's crazy. I mean, it's gorgeous, but that's crazy because I think there's almost 200 colors, and to have to pull one strand from this color and one strand from this color and put them together. That I was not aware of. So, um, but she goes through that whole thing, and I was, she had to purchase all her DMC, and she talks about how it took her 7 hours to put all of her DMC, splitting it up onto the different floss drops. And she got these floss drops. Now, I was just going to use index cards, but she actually got blended floss drops, which the floss drops come and they have the 2 holes for each color, and then like the little single hole in the middle to put your spare floss on, your strands. And I thought that was genius. Whoever invents these things to make life easier for us stitchers, my hat's off to you. I love you. Um, so she spent, and I don't know how long it's going to take me to do that. And as she was doing it, she realized that she hadn't ordered all her floss. So she had to order more, and she expects it'll probably take her another couple hours to finish doing the new floss that she got. Um, if you do happen to go watch that video, the floss rings, the floss drops, it's crazy. It's crazy. But I have a similar problem. Let me show you the pattern first. Here I am talking about it and I haven't even shown it to you. So this is Peacock Tapestry by Teresa Wensler, and it is just gorgeous. I know that you can't tell that those are blended colors, but also everything in here is backstitched. So not only are the colors all blended, everything is backstitched. Every leaf, every pear, every feather, every tree branch. So Teresa Wensler, she takes this very seriously. That's all I can say. So the flosses that I got, like I said, it came all kitted up, and these flosses are silks. I don't know what kind of silks because it doesn't say, but oh my gosh, they are luscious, luscious, so soft, so shiny, so unbelievable. But so let me show you what my problem is. Now, they're all on these cards, and this is not, these numbers right here have nothing to do with what color the floss is. It's just numerical order, and these numbers don't line up to anything in the pattern because the pattern is not by numbers. And so I have 3 of these cards with all the silks, 3.5. All right. And the problem is that, like I said, they're just all in numerical order and they don't tie out. So I don't know what the colors are. So I've actually had to get my DMC color chart, the one that has the actual threads on the chart, and had to match them up. And I've started writing the DMC number in on the back of these so that I can at least match them up to the DMC color that's written in the pattern. So that has this is what's going to be my 9-hour project, is matching the colors and then putting them all on the floss drops. So I haven't gotten those new floss drops in yet, so I have not started doing that, but I'm sure it's going to be a process. But let me show you the start that I got on. And it's funny because when Erica is doing her video, she says that Teresa Wensler always recommends doing the border first. And you guys know that I'm a border stitcher. And the border is one of the 6 colors that does not require blending. So this is the border. This is the border color. So that's what I got started on the border. And I love this color. It's a nice gold color. And this is being stitched on It's just a 28 count even weave that came with the kit. So I have been looking at other Teresa Wenslers. I mean, they're beautiful. I am hoping that this does not deter me from doing future Teresa Wenslers. I'm up for a challenge. But Erica also mentioned that there was someone, when she was doing all her research on Teresa Wensler, that there was someone who commented or remarked that it took her 27 years to do a Teresa Wensler. And I'm like, oh no, no, that's my New England sampler. That's been 29 years. I am not going to spend 27 years on Teresa Wensler. I'll probably be in a dead or in a nursing home by then. Okay, so my other New Year's start, which I did on January 2nd, was my houses of Hon Hollow. So I've decided that as part of my rotation, I will pull both of these out on the 1st and 2nd of each month, and that's when they'll get their stitchy time. And if I have time throughout the month and I feel like working on them, I will. But they will get those 2 dedicated days each month. So we have the houses of Hon Hollow. I know that you've all seen this before. Carriage house. I love carriage house patterns. Again, very, very large, very detailed patterns. And this I am stitching on 36 count platinum linen. And this, sometimes I think I need to have my head examined. Now, I told you I've had this kitted up for a year and a half. So I went and pulled it out, and I'm going through it. I kitted this up with the MPI silks. Like, really? I don't know what kind of mind frame I was at that particular day that I put that order in, but obviously I was thinking about how wonderful it will look. So I don't have a very huge start on this. Again, the border, I started outlining the first square, and I will get back to this, I think, sometime this month. I just didn't have a lot of time on the 2nd to devote to this. So, whoops, that. That's my houses of Hon Hollow. I dropped my little silk thing. Okay, so then the next one I worked on, that snow day that we had last Sunday, I said, okay, I'm just going to pull a Missy and Kathy, 2 needles pulling thread, and how they have their snow day starts, I'm going to do a snow day start, snow day project. So I pulled out Button Up by the Prairie Schooler. I had had this kitted up for one of my Christmas, my 25 days of Flossmas start, and I didn't get around to doing it, so I figured, okay, I'll pull this out. I always think that this is called Snow Day because doesn't that remind you? I mean, that is a typical kid on a snow day out playing in the snow. And I always call the snow day, but it's not. It's called Button Up. But it's very appropriate for a snow day start. And I am doing this on 32 count slate blue Lugana with all the called for DMCs, except I did add, I decided to do the border in black. And again, I'm just starting to outline the squares. And it originally called for the border to be done in, let's see, 3371, which is a dark blackish brown. But there's also that color being used for like the tree in the pattern and some of the other things. So I figured, no, I'll do the border a different color. And now I don't know if that black is too dark. Maybe I should have gone like with a cranberry red or maybe even a white since I'm using this blue fabric. Um, but I'm sure it will be fine. But I did not realize that I thought that you had the choice. Well, you do obviously have the option of doing these as single squares or doing this all in one piece, but the pattern actually calls for you to do this in the single squares. These are all single squares, and then they're like mounted on here so that you can pull them off separately. Um, so either way, however you want to do it. Um, so that was my third new start. The next one was The Witch Next Door. Again, have wanted to start this for a long time, and this qualifies for my seasonal start in the rotation because, like I said, I am going to start stitching things ahead of time for the season so that they're finished for that season. So here it is, The Witch Next Door by Primrose Cottages. I love this. It's so cute. I love everything that Lizzy Kate does. She's a very talented designer. And I am stitching these all on the called for flosses. There's a mixture of classic colorworks, weeks dye works, and gentle arts. So a good mixture. And I'm stitching this on 28 count Laurel Green Lugana, and does not look green to me at all, but that's what it's called. It's a very tan, sandy color. Now, you know how this pattern does not have a border, so I could not start with a border, and I couldn't really start in the top left either because I would have had to count it either into that star or the tree. So I actually started down here in the bottom left, which is definitely not my style, but I didn't have a problem with it, so it'll work. It'll work. So here is, whoops, way too much fabric here. I think this is the whole yard. Hold on. Okay, so here we go. This is the bottom left. This is where the cat goes that's sitting there, and then here's where the pumpkin goes. So I just started stitching the grass. And again, I think that'll be a relatively quick stitch. So I'm going to pull this out on the 13th of each month as part of my rotation. Oop, drop the needle out of there. For me, I know that some people don't like having like assigned days for things, um, or being required to do things, even being part of a stitch along. Um, but I like having that defined organization. I think that will help me in getting a lot of this stuff done. Oh, and I forgot to mention too that the turkey tapestry is being done as a sal with Erica and the Yugo Stitcher. So, and she's put that out there on Instagram. Anybody else that wants to do a Teresa Wensler, and it doesn't have to be this one. Any Teresa Wensler, if you want to be part of the SAL, feel free to join in. Okay, so then the next new start I had was actually, hold on, had it in the wrong pile. Honey Fair by October House. And I am doing this for my Smalls Exchange For the retreat I'm going to up in Maine in April. It's being sponsored by Two Needles Pulling Thread, Missy and Kathy. And this is being done on 30 count parchment with all the called for DMCs. And I have just the square up here in the corner started. This is so darn cute. That's that square right there. The corner. Whoops. This one right here. I'm looking forward to working on this, and I have some great ideas for other stuff to go along with this for the exchange. So looking forward. This will be my first retreat that I've been to. So I'm very excited. And of course, it falls right after April 18th, so right after tax season. I will need to go away on a retreat. Then the next one I started was The Last Supper. This fills the slot in my rotation for working on a religious piece. And this is good old Leisure Arts. This has been around for a long time. Everybody has seen this. And I've wanted to stitch this for a long time. So finally I did. Okay, and this is being stitched on 18 count Aida, Milk and Honey. And I think that this is going to be my Sunday stitch. I'm just going to pull this out on Sundays after I get home from church. That's what I did yesterday. I just got home in the afternoon and I just sat down and worked on this. I was working on this for about 3 hours, but it doesn't, I don't know. You always think that you've had more, that you should have more to show for the amount of time that you spent. That's not how it works. Anyway, I started in the middle on this one, guys, top center. Because again, I didn't have a starting point from top left or bottom left. So I started center, top center, and it is the beginning of the archway in the door right here. So this is going to be my Sunday start. I mean, my Sunday project. Again, too much fabric. And then the last thing that I started was my temperature chart. My 2024 Cottage temperature chart, and I have it in my new bag that I got, which is so cool, so retro. And this is being stitched on 25 count Ivory Lugana, and this is the temperature chart from the Fat Quarter Shop for 2024. And I am doing the houses in the high range, the high temperature range. So and let's see, which way does this go? Let's go this way. And this is my start for the first 14 days of January, or 13 days, however many are on there. So I am really looking forward to working on this and getting this finished. So I'm definitely going to stay up on this every month and not fall behind, because I want to make this into a wall hanging when it's done. Do a log cabin quilted wall hanging with this right in the middle. and I think that will look cool. And just have multicolored log cabins. Um, so those are my starts for January. And whips, I only have one. Oh, no, I have two. I take that back. Okay. So United in Love, I said was going to be my 37 project, meaning I'm going to work on this for 30 days, every day of the week until it's done. And I had to tell you, and here it is again for those of you who haven't seen it. Just working on one project every day for 30 minutes really makes a difference. It really does. Now, I am still up in the air about what I'm going to do with this. So let me show you what I got finished. Whoops. Okay, so I did get, let me fold this in half. So I did get all these little flower motifs stitched around the whole thing. And then I started the letters. And as I was stitching them, I decided, nope, don't like that color blue. That's the called for color blue. Don't like it because I think that this blue and the color of the hearts, the cranberry color of the hearts, makes it look too country kitchenish, if that's a word. I think you know what I'm talking about, you know, too country kitchenish. So it's like, nope, you know, and this outline is the same blue as this. And I don't mind having blue because she did have blue in her flowers. But no, I'm going to change this up. I think I'm going to focus on the middle part of the sampler, stitch the middle part the way that I want it. So you can't see it, but I did start stitching the doves. Now in the pattern, the doves are blue, and I started stitching them, and I'm stitching them in white. Of course you can't see, well, you can a little bit. So here is the first wing of the first dove. So I'm just going to stitch this in white and then do a very light gray back stitching. And there are separations in the wings that I'll show you part of the pattern really quick. So you can see with this separation in the wings where it's just the fabric showing through. I'll even put the light gray there, you know, as shadow or to help distinguish the wings, so to speak, and the birds themselves. So the doves, I'm going to make white. I'm not going to do the heart that's above their heads. I'm going to put 2 round rings instead. And so I'm just going to focus on doing what I know that I want to do in the pattern and then focus on the other stuff afterwards, if that makes sense. Part of me just says, you know what, I should just ditch the whole thing. But I do want to try to resurrect this if possible and keep going. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. And then the other whip that I worked on, I pulled out on the 4th, was Andy Forrest Grew, Kluber, Rosewood Manna, and I had finished this tree and this bird the last time. I really need to put up before and after pictures. Maybe I'll remember to do that. And I got, again, a lot of fabric on this. So I got these 2 little motifs done, these birds, and then this little tree right here. So that's what I did on the 4th. And that is being stitched with all the called for colors on a 36 count. I think it's just a white linen. Whoops. Okay. So I did start my new 2024 Crossstitch Journal, which I have all my information written down. And then, of course, I have Crossstitch's planner, which I use to keep track of my actual stitching time throughout the month. I use 2. That's just me. I know many people just use 1. They use the, was it calendar of days or book of days? Okay. So that's it for new starts and whips. So now let's do haul. And this is stuff that I had ordered. Some of it I had ordered a while ago and it just came in. So, because I know that I said that I was not going to be ordering new stuff. But you know how that goes. Okay, so I was on a Lizzy Kate kit for some reason. And I got Lady Liberty and Liberty Sam. And it comes with the little bells and flags, and these are stand-ups. So I was happy to get those. I really want to get started on my patriotic wall, and I have I'm going to put it in my front hallway, and I also have a table that's out there along the wall, and I can put a lot of this stuff on the table too. And this is Whale Watch. And this is by Chessie and me. And then I got the Virtue Leads Stitch Book, also by Chessie and me. And I got this from, it's the little stitch shop that's in Wisconsin. It's like a general store. I'll link it down below. But they have a great website. And look, it comes with the felt and the fabric, everything you need to make the stitch book. So cute. Plum Street Sampler, Live on Little. I wanted to do this one for a while. Plum Street Samplers, The New World. I've wanted to do this one for a while. New York Dreamer, Home Sweet Saltbox Home. This one's so cute. Very cute. Virtue by La Di Da. And of course, look at that house. Liberty Games by Erica Michaels. Love this. I love that. I think that is so cute. Liberty Scrabble board. My Needle Ply by The Elegant Thread. A drum, a little pillow, and scissor fob companion set. Is that a pillow? Oh no, it's a needle book. Chessie and Me Peace and Goodwill sampler. And Across the Sea sampler. Love that one. God Bless America sampler, Artful Offerings. Red Work Pears by Annie Bees. I think she has a lot of new things. I've been hearing a lot of FlossTubers talk about Annie Bees, so she must have a lot of new stuff out. Blue Work Pears by Annie Bees. A Quaker Welcome by Leela's Studio. She was just big into the Quakers last year. Okay, Long Dog, guys. I think this is going to be my leap year start. It's called Quilts, and I just love this. Look at those quilts in that bottom row and the houses. I got another long dog too. So it'll be a toss up between which one I do. And then I got this one. It's called Kitchen Sampler. I had to go searching for this. I found it on eBay. And I was binge watching some of the older videos from Two Needles Pulling Thread, Kathy and Missy. And Missy pulled this out. Kathy's mother had stitched this for her when she first got married. And it's hanging in her kitchen. And it's like, oh my gosh, that is so cute. I love the ladder back chairs right here. So I went hunting for it and found it. So I'm going to definitely stitch that at some point. But thank you, Missy, for enabling me on that one. Then I did get some fabric, nothing, nothing major. I did get, I had to order floss, like for the Last Supper and for the temperature chart. And so my black and white piece that I haven't started yet, I ordered a cone of the 310 floss. I have never ordered a cone before, and that came in and it's huge. It's huge. So that'll be fun to start. Okay, so that's haul, new retreats. Okay, so the first one I want to tell you about is the Black Needle Society. The Black Needle Society does retreats in a box. They started this during COVID, and you have to subscribe to them to get their retreats in the box. They have different ones. They have, one for Halloween, they have one for Christmas, one for Advent, one for New Year's. They have them throughout the year, and they're always themed. And then they do certain specialty ones. Um, and one of those is Harry Potter. And this is year 5, and they call it Frogwarts. And it's going to be, so they send you the box. You get the box, and it's full of, the Harry Potter stuff, like whether it's, usually you get a coffee mug and a bookmark. And one year they had wallet, and one year they had playing cards, and you always get fabric and whatever. And then they do a virtual retreat. So the virtual retreat is July 5th through the 7th, and you sign in, and they'll have all these different rooms. And you can go from room to room, and you can stay and stitch in that room. It's like a stitch along while you're watching what's going on in that room. And maybe they're showing a Harry Potter movie, or maybe they're showing clips, or maybe they're showing, an interview with the characters or whatever. I know they have the new Harry Potter movie that's coming out next year, and they have a new series called Snipes that's going to be on Netflix or something. So, it's but whatever you need to do the virtual retreat will be in your box when you receive your box. So I ordered a box for my granddaughter. She loves Harry Potter, and I ordered one for myself so that I'll go out to Nebraska in July and we'll sit there and do this together. So I'm looking forward to that. I checked their website this morning. It's the Black Needle Society. I think it's blackneedlesociety.com. And they do still have the Harry Potter boxes left for Frogwarts Year 5. So you can buy the box, sign up for the virtual retreat, or you don't even have to do the retreat if you just want to get the box. So that's the first one. The second retreat is Dying to Stitch. And this year's theme is Gathering of Friends, Blackbird Designs. And Alma from Blackbird is going to be there. This is September 26th to the 28th, and it's held in Chesapeake at the Hyatt. And registration, you have to download this form. So go to Dying to Stitch, download the registration form, and then registration opens tomorrow, January 16th at 10 a.m. Eastern. So upload your registration, email it to them, and then they will let you know during the week whether or not your registration got accepted or if you're on the wait list. So it says you will be notified within 7 days of acceptance. All registrations must be emailed. So it's the retreat price is $450, and you have up until August 1st for full cancellation for full refund. So if you're interested in that, Dying to Stitch with Blackbird Alma. It says this will be her last retreat, I believe. But anyway, so you get that one. And then I just wanted to also mention that Colorado cross stitcher Sherry is going to be doing the winter camp, and that starts February 1st. So you can and there's no registration process or anything. She does it all through Instagram, but go to her latest Flosstube, Colorado cross stitcher, and she talks about it. And this winter's theme is going to be stitching an animal. And basically is you start on February 1st, you upload a picture of your pattern and your floss and your fabric, and then, just upload pictures throughout the month while you're working on it. And she does drawings at the end, and, again, no pressure, no pressure. I started camps I did her summer camps, June, July, and August, and I started, but I didn't finish them. But you still get entered into the drawings. It's just participation. So those are the 3 retreats / camps I wanted to tell you about. Okay, now let's do the giveaway. Okay, so the giveaway on FlossTube number 9, I just wanted you to comment and let me know where you were viewing from. And so I had one person from Australia, one person from Colorado, a person from Canada, a person from Connecticut, one from Maine, a couple from New Hampshire. So thank you. I appreciate you letting me know that. I love connecting with other stitchers. So I put everything on a wheel. I downloaded one of those wheels. I don't know how to do the random generator thing on Floss on YouTube. So I downloaded a spinning wheel. If it will focus. And I put everybody's name on there that left a comment. So let's spin this baby. Oh my God, that's obnoxious, isn't it? Okay, Kitmar 1667. Woohoo! You're the winner. All right, so email me, send me, get in touch with me, granitestatestitchers@gmail.com. Send me your address, and I should show again what the prize was, right? Look, It was Matters in Hand by Jeanette Douglas. Love this. And it's has all the floss with it. You get to choose your own fabric. Um, but I will send this right off to you. Thank you to those of you who participated. I loved reading your comments, and we'll have to do this again. So today's video, I wanted to ask you, have you been to a retreat? And let me know your experience if you have. I've never been to one, and like I said, I'm going to be going to one in April. And I watch other, FlossTubers that have been to retreats and what it's like. But let me know. Let me know if you've been to a retreat, if you would like to go to a retreat. Um, how far would you travel to go to a retreat? I've seen some of these, they have retreats in England. They do river cruise retreats where you can go on one of those river cruises down through like Greece and those countries over there in the Mediterranean. Like, wow, I would love to do that, but I don't think I'd financially be able to afford it. In fact, I think Jeanette Douglas is going to be on that river cruise retreat in May. But let me know. Let me know. Okay. Um, Other floss tubers I've been watching. Two new ones to me. I haven't watched them before. One of them is the New England Stitcher, and the other one is Helen D. And I know that everybody's heard of Helen D, and I don't know why I haven't watched her before now. Um, Both of these ladies are very, very gifted in their craft endeavors, very talented. So please go watch them. They do everything: quilting, knitting. Helen D, her finishes, she comes up with some very unique ideas for finishing. So definitely go give them a look. Okay, so that's my cross stitching um, for today. I'm going to show you a couple of knitting and crocheting whips and then do life updates. So if you don't want to stick around for that, thank you for watching, and I'll catch you the next time. But if you want to see, hang on. And I've been meaning to show these the past couple of videos, and I keep forgetting. So I actually had to make a note to myself. Remember, whoops, as I drop my ball of yarn. Hold on, please. Okay, so um, as I told you, my daughter just got assigned her new base, and it's in Nebraska. So for Christmas, I actually had to buy Allie. Allie's my granddaughter. Today is her birthday. She's 9 years old today. But I just bought her all winter stuff. My daughter had all the bases that she's been stationed at. Allie was born in Arizona, so they lived in Arizona. Then they moved to Las Vegas. She was stationed at Nellis for 5 years. Um, then they moved to Oklahoma last year. And, these bases that she's been at haven't really, been in cold weather climates. I mean, Oklahoma, they did get some snow, but it wasn't anything major. So now she's in Nebraska, and they've had two snowstorms within the past 2 weeks. She texted me yesterday or over the weekend and said it was like 10 below there. It was freezing. So, I stocked Allie up winter boots, coats, ski pants, mittens, all the good stuff, long johns. And so I decided I was going to make her a sweater. So, my pattern. Get it together, Kara. So this is the pattern that she chose. I sent her a couple of different options. So this is the pattern that I'm doing. And then I found this really, really nice. It's so soft. It's Karen yarn, and it has little sparkles in it. It's a light gray with sparkles. And I thought, oh, this will be right up Allie's alley, so to speak. So this is how far I've gotten on it. This is the back. And you can really see the sparkles. So cute. So my daughter says, "Oh, make it large enough for me to wear." No, I'm not going to make Allie a super huge sweater just so that you can wear it. Um, so I got this yarn at Joann's when they were doing their beginning of the year sale where all their yarn was 40% off. And I actually went and got a couple more balls because I am going to make it a little bit larger so that she'll have it, for next year too. And they have a white glittery, which I may go back and get for my daughter, and I'll make her a sweater. So I have that, and then I had shown this way back when. This is a poncho. It's called the Inishman poncho, and I'm making this for my daughter-in-law, Sarah, because she's Irish. And I think this is absolutely gorgeous. Look at those stitches, that Celtic weave and the cable stitches, and I don't even know what that other middle stitch is right here. Wait a minute, where's my finger? Right here. I don't even know what that's called. But anyway, this is being crocheted. Now, something new for me. Now, I'm a knitter and crochet, but I had never crocheted cables before. I've knit cables, but I've never crocheted cables. So this was fun learning how to do that. This whole pattern is just gorgeous, but I've gotten the first section done. So this is the first cable section that I have done. And that is this section right here on the edge. This is just a, something that you put on afterwards. But so here it is. Now the next one I go into is this Celtic weave. So I'm looking forward to that. I started the first row and then didn't think that it looked right, so I ripped it out. I really have to read, and she does do a video tutorial. Let me tell you something. If you are into crocheting, this woman right here, Bonnie Bay Crochet, she does a YouTube channel, and this woman does everything, and she makes her own patterns. Very gifted crocheter, and so thankfully she has those video tutorials because just by reading it, I'm a visual person, so that definitely helps having the visual tutorial. So those are my whips for my knitting and crocheting. And life updates. Like I mentioned, Allie is 9 today. So happy birthday to my granddaughter. So I asked my daughter what they were going to do today. So the plan was because Allie doesn't have school, and of course the base is closed because it's a holiday. So they are going to do manicures, and they're going to lunch. Then they're going to go to a matinee movie. And I sent my daughter, I Venmoed her some money, and I said, here you go, take Allie. And they were on the phone together. And I said, Allie, I said, Grammy's going to send you some money to go to Hobby Lobby or Michael's. And of course, she's thrilled. She's thrilled. And this is a joke between my daughter and I because whenever Allie gets money for either her birthday or Christmas or whatever, Allie's favorite stores are Hobby Lobby and Michael's. And it's torture, torture going to those stores with her. because she knows exactly how much she has to spend, and she will walk up and down every aisle first, getting the thought in her brain, oh, what am I going to buy? And then, I'm sorry, I just noticed that the sun is coming in here and changing because I'm like, wow, I look really cloudy on the computer. Sorry about that. And then once she has gone up and down every single aisle, then we have to backtrack and go back to the aisles, and she'll start putting stuff in the cart. And you have to give her your cell phone so that she can use the calculator. And she may have to put stuff back if she sees something else, or, oh, nope, those two items come up, say like she has 40 bucks. Nope, those items only come up to $37.99. So I still have another $2 and penny to spend. And she will get that amount, whatever she's buying, she will get within 10 cents. So it takes, I'm not kidding when I say it takes hours in those stores. And my daughter, before I started filming, my daughter actually sent me a text, a picture of them in the store. Um, and it's just so funny because I can just imagine the look on my daughter's face. So I don't know if you can see that. That's Allie. They're in the store, and I'm sure that my daughter's like, yeah, it has started. Uh, so anyway, I, I, I'm sure that my daughter enjoyed herself on that. So, she closes, let's see, she closes on her house on Friday. She did buy a house. Josh, her fiance, is still in Cheyenne at the Air Force Base out in Cheyenne. And so she closes on Friday. Josh is coming on Saturday, and that's his birthday. Um, the furniture, the Air Force is delivering their furniture and everything on Saturday. So he'll be there for the weekend to help her set up the furniture, the beds, all that stuff. Bring the dogs. The dogs are with him. And then he has to leave on Monday or Tuesday. He is going for training. He's going TDY, which is just a training deployment, up to Mountain Home, Idaho. And that's also where he actually does his guard duty. So he's just going to do an extended leave up at Mountain Home and cram in 6 months of his guard duty. So he's going to be up there probably for 2.5 months. Um, and then he comes back. He will be transferred to Offutt, my daughter's base in Nebraska, in April. So at least they will be back together. And I don't have to make her wedding dress. I am off the hook for that, thank God. But they did decide that they are going to get married in Glacier National Park in Montana. You know, my daughter is very non-traditional. Um, so that's going to be exciting. Uh, I am going to track down some national park cross stitches. In fact, I did find one, and I noticed that I haven't watched the video yet, but Too Tall Stitchers, that's where I had seen Jen do a cross stitch of the national parks. And in their video this week, they have a national park quilt. So I had to find out who did that quilt and get that pattern from them if they still have it, or track it down. Hopefully, they can give me the information of where they got it. So, anyway, yeah, I'll insert some pictures from Nebraska up here, Allie with her snow day. And tax season is going to be starting. I've already had a couple of clients reach out to me. I have my tax stuff all together. Can you start my taxes? The IRS doesn't open until January 29th. So no, I cannot start your taxes yet. I'm glad. I'm glad that you're prepared and that you're right on the ball and you're going to get them done early. Um, I really need to get on all my clients this year to get me their stuff early because the past couple of years it's just been horrible. Just reaching out to them, get me your stuff, get me your stuff, get me your stuff. I did someone's taxes on October 16th last year. Not this year, no more. No more. So anyway, going to be going full force into tax season within a couple weeks. Future videos, I don't know. I'm not going to have a schedule, I don't think. Um, I'm going to try to at least do one a month, but again, my stitching time will be cut down. I will, like I said, I will make time to do stitching. That's one of my, one of my goals. Um, devote more time to myself, not so much to work. I do during tax season, I do have my knitting project next to my desk because there are times like when you just feel like your brain is going to explode, and I'll just reach down and pull that up and just knit for half an hour or 45 minutes, kind of like to relax, clear the brain, clear the senses, um, and then that helps. Sometimes when you take your mind off something, like I used to when I worked at the CPA firm, I had an hour drive each way, and I use that time in the morning to think about my day, what do I have going on, and then the drive home was always my decompress time. It was also my time to just kind of think about things that had happened during the day, like if I was struggling with a tax return, oh, should I take this depreciation or do that depreciation? Oh, wait a minute, do they have basis? Just a bunch of stuff. And it's always during that time when you're relaxing and you're not thinking of something that then your brain does think of what it is that you need to do. So that's what my knitting does for me during tax season. I'm not sure that I'll have a cross stitch project next to my desk and pull it up because again, I would have to be using my brain to look to see what I'm stitching, whereas knitting, you can just sit there and knit and you don't even have to think about what you're doing. Um, so we'll see what happens during tax season. I do have to get my small project completed that I'm going to be doing, um, using it at the small trade at the retreat. So that I do have to work on, and also my 37 piece. So we'll see. We'll see what tax season brings. We'll see what happens. Um, I think that's it. We're at an hour and 7 minutes. I knew it wouldn't be short because I haven't been here for a while. So anyway, leave me comments down below. If you're new, please consider subscribing, and we'll see you the next time, hopefully in a couple weeks. All right, thanks. Bye.